For the second part of this tutorial, we're going to install an integrated development environment in order to be able to work with PHP code and generally the Joomla codebase. The IDE which we're going to install is called Aptana Studio, and it is based on Eclipse. For those who don't know Eclipse, Eclipse is a Java-based integrated development environment originally created by IBM and then made open source. The reason I'm using Aptana Studio instead of straight Eclipse is that Aptana Studio provides a very easy way to install all the extras we will need in order to be able to work with PHP itself and Subversion. Aptana Studio is free of charge, it is open source, and is available from http://www.aptana.org/studio/download. In the download page, we can select which version of Aptana we would like to download. There are two different installation types, the standalone and the Eclipse plugin. Since we're not installing Eclipse first, we're going to use the standalone version. The next item is your operating system. It should be pre-populated with your own operating system. Since mine is Windows, I'm leaving the selection as it is, and for the download type we have a full installer or a zip file. Obviously I'm going to prefer the full installer because it will be much easier for me to install. And then I just have to click on download now. Once the download is complete, we can proceed with installing Aptana Studio. The Aptana Studio installer is very straightforward to use. You just click on Next, I agree, and then click on Next to install it in the default location, which is just fine. You do want to create a program group, so just click on Next again. It is a good idea to associate Aptana Studio with the different file formats that we normally want to handle within the IDE, including the XML documents, which is not selected by default, and then just click on Next. And finally click on Install to begin the installation. After the base installation is over, just click on Next. Do note that Aptana Studio is quite a big application, so once I click on its icon, it will take a while to load. Now that we're inside Aptana Studio, it automatically opens the My Studio page. You just click on Plugins, and now we can install the extra software we need. The first stop will be going to the Feature tab and installing the PHP development tools. We just click on the Get It link, and we wait for Eclipse to load. OK. So we can expand this list and only install the latest PHP Development Tools PDT SDK feature. We select it from the list and then we click on Next. After a while, Aptana Studio will ask you to confirm the details. You can just click on Next, accept the terms of the license agreement and click on Finish. Now the real installation of the PDT feature is taking place. If a warning message pops up, you can just click on OK. After the installation is over, you have to restart Aptana Studio. So in the prompt here, just click on Yes. Back in the My Studio page, we will just click again on Plugins. The second thing we want to install is Subversion. So we just click on Utilities, and we will install the Subclips Subversion Revision Control integration. We just click on Get It. The installation procedure is similar to installing the PDT feature, but now we have more options. You have to click the Core SVN Kit Library option, the optional JNA library, then expand the Subclips node and select everything except the Mylin integration. Then just click on Next. As usual, confirm the installation details, accept the license agreement, and click on Finish. Now the installation will take place, and again, when it is over, we will have to restart Aptana Studio. When Aptana restarts, we now have to install the last component. We just go to Plugins, Featured, go again to the PHP Development Tools, click on Get It, and now we will also install the Runtime feature. Just click on Next. Then we confirm the installation details, accept the license agreement, click on Finish, and wait for the installation to complete. Once Aptana Studio restarts, we will have to make some final adjustments. Just go to the Window menu and click on Preferences. Then click on Workspace. Right here we will choose the text file encoding to be UTF-8 and the new text file line delimiter to be the Unix. Now just click on Apply, and then we will go to Startup and Shutdown menu and click on Workspaces. We have to tick the Prompt for Workspace on Startup checkbox because we want to create a new Eclipse workspace which will be located inside our web root. This is strictly speaking not necessary, but it will make our life much easier. Once you have ticked this checkbox, just click on OK, then close Aptana Studio and restart it. When you restart it, you will see that it prompts us to choose our workspace. Just delete the text in here and enter the path to your XAMPP installation, which, if you follow the instructions on the first part of this tutorial, is C XAMPP, and inside it you will see that there is a folder named htdocs. Now click on Use this as the default and do not ask again, and click on OK. After the final restart of Aptana Studio, we're ready to check out the Joomla 1.6 SVN version. In order to find out from where we have to check out this version from, we will just go back to our browser and visit the Joomla project in joomlacode.org, and right there in the SVN tab you will see that it tells us that the Joomla trunk for the 1.6 development head version is this URL, http://joomlacode.org/svn/joomla/development/trunk. I'm going to copy this to my clipboard and then go back to Aptana Studio. Back in Aptana Studio, I'm going to bring the PHP view. So I just click here on Other and click on the PHP perspective, click on OK, and you will see that the interface changes. This is the standard interface for working with PHP code. Right here we have the PHP Explorer, which will hold our Aptana Studio projects. So we need to create a new project by checking out the Joomla 1.6 SVN code. So just go to File, New, Project, expand the SVN node, and click on Check out projects from SVN. By clicking on Next, we can create a new repository location or use an existing repository location. We'll choose to create a new repository location. So we click on Next, and in the URL field, we'll just paste the URL we copied from the joomlacode.org page. So we just click on Next. After a while, Aptana Studio has read the SVN repository and presents us with the contents of this URL. We just click on the root node and click on Next. This dialog will allow us to choose how we want to check out the SVN repository. We need to check it out as a project configure using the new project wizard. The header revision, which is just fine because we always want the latest version, fully recursive because we want everything to be included, and everything else is just fine, so we just click on Finish. In the new dialog, we'll expand the PHP node and select PHP project in order to create a new PHP project from the SVN code. So after I have selected this, I just click on Next, and I will give the project a name. Do note that the same name I'm going to use will be used as the directory name, so I will just name it J16 because it is very easy to type. Everything else is just fine, so I will just have to click on Next. After that, click on Finish. OK. And let Aptana Studio check out the Joomla 1.6 SVN code. Once the checkout is complete, you will notice that in the left sidebar you have your project, the J16 project. If you click on the triangle here, it will expand and you will see all the directories and the files. If you want to edit a file, you will have to just double click on it and it will load inside the main editor area in here. Before we begin working with the code, we will have to install Joomla 1.6, the SVN version of it, to our local development server. In order to do that, we will go back to our browser. Now we will type the URL to the J16 project, which is http://localhost/J16. The familiar Joomla installer loads. We will just click on Next a few times until we get to the database page where we will enter our database's credentials. For this development server, the hostname is localhost, the username is root, the password is actually empty, and the database name can be anything we like. I will just name it J16 so that it matches the name of our project. And I will just click on Next. There is no need to enable the FTP layer since it is a local installation. And I can give a site name, Joomla SVN for example. I will just enter my email address and pick an admin username and a password. I will also install the sample data and click on Next. Now, despite the warning, since this is a development version, it is specially altered, so we don't actually need to remove the installation directory. In fact, we must not do that. The only thing that we have to do is click on either the site or the administrator in order to visit our new installation. So we'll just click on site to make sure that everything is in working order. And yeah, well, this is the Joomla 1.6 SVN version successfully installed. And we're now ready to begin installing the debugger so that we can work with the SVN code. Thank you for watching this second part of the tutorial. The third and final part will teach you how to install the debugger and how to use it in order to debug the Joomla SVN code.